Welcome back, everybody. Time now for game number 2 between Team Fire and Cloud9. It's Godz and Blitz bringing you guys the winner bracket final of the Perfect World hosted Dota 2 Asia Championships. Over $1 million in prize money, and I gotta say, I'm thinking we're gonna be seeing maybe even like close to $2 million.
That is so much money.
Why is Zephyr not playing in this tournament?
What happened, Will? What happened? Dude, fucking... Oh, I can't say that word. Let's see.
You guys made mistakes if you're not playing in this tournament.
You know the movie Titanic? Where everything goes like really well up until they see the iceberg that isn't moving? We were the Titanic, you know, it was like everyone's like, oh yeah, that could be okay. And then we saw the iceberg and we just couldn't avoid it. Like no matter what we did, it was like we were just so immobile and slow and lumbering, and it was just like...
Now, speak to me like I'm your psychologist. Who or what is the iceberg? What represents the iceberg?
What's the iceberg? Let's see. Every other team was the iceberg. Like every other team was the iceberg. It didn't matter like who we played against, what we played against. Every team was the iceberg.
3.5k MMR players, the iceberg.
The iceberg.
Well, we're get ourselves in the next game. These teams are hopefully going to be avoiding any icebergs coming their way. Cloud9. Couple new players on their team, as far as maybe not official members, but Notel as well as Misery have joined them with the departure of Pylai Dai and AUI 2000. Nothing official there yet. As for Fire, we mentioned last game, slightly new roster as well, with Fogged as well as Ush joining the roster. But game 2 now. Fire, the underdogs coming into this one, but this is still like for them, I mean, even if 2-0 defeat here, from their point of view, it's like, well, we can still bounce back. We can still have a second shot in the grand finals, I guess, being double limb.
Yeah, and it didn't look, just from that game, like there was a huge skill disparity. It just looked like Fire just didn't do the little things right. Like giving Mike a little bit more farm in the game, and giving a little bit more space to your initiator. Or maybe they should have picked more initiators in general. Because that's what it looked like C9 had. They had the Lion, who got a really quick Blink Dagger and was able to get around the map by himself with just the Zeus ult. They had the Bat Rider, the Faceless Void Chrono. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, they just had so many different ways of starting fights or getting mini pickoffs, whereas Fire didn't. Like, both of those supports are relatively defensive. I guess Venge is an aggressive one, but with the rest of their lineup, it's not really. Until you get 6 at a reasonable time.
And the Venge, I feel like, had to be constantly sitting behind a core hero to save them from the Lasso ganks, from a Void Chronosphere. I mean, there was a Blink Hex from a Lion. Everyone except maybe like Notel had great pickoff potential that game, just on their own. Venomancer, I mean, was kind of forcing out TPs constantly just by doing his thing, so... We'll see.
Fire played so greedy that game. I saw him at like a top lane with like no HP or mana, and he would just be up there, and Fire were like, do we go gank him here? Yeah. Like, they were just kind of confused. But they're going to remedy that this game with a puck. Like, that's the initiating heroes of all initiating heroes. You get a Blink Dagger, and then you're like the most mobile thing in the entire world.
Yep. See, probably the mid puck for TC. It's not really an IX Mike hero, I don't feel.
Especially if they don't give him that Blink.
Yeah, exactly. Give Mike a hero that can be somewhat farm independent. But we'll see. Maybe a Mike Spirit Breaker if Cloud9 don't ban it out. They did ban it out in game 1. With the Chen, actually, in this second stage, so if Cloud9 want to stick to what worked for them in Game 1, could see that Spirit Breaker ban once more. But you see, like, the Venge puck, and whenever I see, like, a Venge with a puck, I'm always thinking, like, some kind of Drow pick to benefit from the Venge. You're on the dire side. The puck gets a lot out of the bonus damage as well from the Drow. I've seen, like, so many Venge puck openings into, like, a Drow Visage, or even just a Drow alone complements these two heroes so nicely.
That hero helps so much. From playing against it, I was like a Queen of Pain the other day against a Storm, and she had the Droaura, and normally I'm like, or the Storm had the Droaura, and normally I'm so used to just being able to right-click the Storm out, but just that extra damage, you don't realize it until it's too late. It helps with the laning phase so much.
Yeah.
If you just have a few heroes that can take advantage of it.
No. Well, Faceless Void the ban, so the Spirit Breaker is still in the pool, as is the Drow Ranger. It will be Fire with the first pick coming out of these bans, so we'll see what they have in mind as far as their draft is concerned. But Drow Range is still available.
Is that really an Ush hero, though?
I think it kind of. I don't
know. Feel like I see him more on like the Spaceys.
Like the Jug from last game.
Yeah, the Jug. Well, that was just a hard game for him.
Mike never really plays like a big core hero, to be honest. Like, you need Ush. Ush and TC are both getting farmed, typically. If TC's on a puck, though, you need Ush on like a true carry, it feels like to me.
Yeah, Drow is probably something that complements that really well, because you need a physical damage dealer. That's the only place that puck manages to fall off.
I could still see something like a Terrorblade or something work, but I mean, you're against a Lion who deals with illusions so well. I guess the scare is always you're against a Juggernaut who's going to be putting a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah.
So they start with a Skywrath. Nothing much from that. Just a good support duel with Avenge.
I guess for Fire, the Sky works pretty well. There is some synergy there. They've got 2 different ways of locking down, but maybe it's not the best. It just depends on who gets the jump first, the Juggernaut or the Skywrath.
Alright, well, Cloud9, Lion, Jug, and...
Seems like they really like that Lion for Misery. That's twice now I've seen him pick up in this qualifier alone.
Yeah. They played it in their earlier series today as well, and they're picking it in the first pick stage. Something I've seen a bit from IG as well. They seem to really value this hero as a support now. Even just 7 bonus damage, it's like, well, he can just zone heroes out that little bit better. At some point, you're going to get a laner's support, and that's where having some extra damage you do farm that a little bit easier.
I think even before that change, though, he was a really good support because nobody really has that kind of initiating potential like Lion does as a support. A Blink Hex on him alone is usually enough to kill somebody, and Hex is an item that you normally have to buy. Lion has it as a built-in ability. It might just be a little bit too greedy before the damage buff, and maybe it's a metagame thing as well. Because the metagame is kind of shifted towards being... You can get away with the greedier things, whereas before you had to be ready for the 5-man push at pre-25 minutes. But now the game kind of... it kind of stagnates at a period, and your supports will get farmed now, whereas before it was just death ball after death ball.
Yeah. And Cloud9, they don't have quite the same single hero pickup potential, but it feels like they want to make sure Fire can't be like farming the map that efficiently. They get a Wisp, the no-tail Wisp, and it's so hard to like be farming alone when you're against a Wisp, when you're against a Juggernaut, when you're against a Blink Lion. It feels very similar to the last game where Cloud9 just have such great pick-off potential with this draft. And Fire, this is an Usher. I've seen him play this quite a bit, the Naga Siren.
This is the ultra late game hero of ultra late game heroes. You do not want to give her a quick Radiance. That is like the only thing you don't want to do with this hero. I think Jug is a pretty good hero against her because the healing ward more or less negates the Riptide and the Radiance damage, so you can go for the push. Whereas against normal carry heroes, you just kind of keep sending out illusions and being a nuisance. But I guess the healing ward is really good against it. But this is the hero that if it gets a pre-20-minute Radiance, I don't even know what the odds are. I should ask Brian. But I feel like if you get like a pre-20-minute Radiance on Naga, relatively safely, you're in a really good spot.
Yeah. Well, for Cloud9, could even offensive trialing with like a Wisp Jug Lion. That's something which is a possibility. Not exactly a dominant trialing, but they pick up the Tiny. So suggesting some kind of a Wisp Tiny mid. They want to be able to fight in the late game to some extent. Tiny, much better base sieger than the Naga Siren with the Wisp support, and some good AoE clear as well as far as taking out illusions.
This could also be an offlane Juggernaut, I'm starting to believe.
Yeah.
And that's... Maybe they pick the Jug early to tell Fire, okay, this is our carry hero, focus your attentions on him. So maybe Fire were like, okay, there's going to be no further carry hero, let's focus on trying to just take down the Jug. And they have a lot of ways to deal with the Jug, but not that many ways of dealing with the Tiny. Tiny cleaves really well against the illusions, team fighting against him early. He's a really good all-around hero. Not particularly strong at anything, but not really bad at anything either. He's got good stat gain. You naturally build strength items on him because you're going to get the Aghanims.
Yeah, because, I mean, Fire picked up 2 silences and even like a Naga and Snare to be able to cancel like a Jug Blade Fury TP. So they've got a lot of kind of heroes who deal fairly well with the Jug. But as far as Tiny's concerned...
Tiny Wisp is so annoying to kill.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm sure Tiny... I mean, he doesn't care that much about the silences, especially when he has a Wisp behind him to protect him. So.
Yeah, once he gets a BKB in this game as well. That's typically an item you don't see Juggernauts pick up, so maybe they were like, oh, he won't get a BKB, we can just lock him down before the spin. But with a hero like Tiny, who will get a BKB eventually, it's a bit different.
Well, looks like Fire going to save Mike's here for last, and no Spirit Breaker for you. Do we see another Mike Centaur, or... I guess, could be a puck for Mike.
I think they should pick up another initiating hero, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Maybe a Clock... Wait, did they ban Clockwork? No, Clockwork could be the pickup here. I think Clock is actually quite decent against their lineup right now. Especially if you can get the Tether to break somehow with the cogs. And in general, it just makes the Wisp Tiny combo a little bit weaker.
Yep. Alright, well, not much time to decide what it's going to be. And Fire, going to go with a Clockwork.
Ah, genius. Alright, now it's your turn.
What do Cloud9 need? They've got the Wisp Tiny, Lion Jug. Can we be 2 for 2?
Yeah, it's got to be the Fada hero. What do you think?
You'd think so, but what are these lanes can go any direction right now.
What are you feeling?
I think we're gonna see. Oh.
No, you're just telling them they're gonna pick soon.
I know. If they pick, I lose anyways. So I'm trying to use every second I can here. I'm gonna go with Beastmaster.
Undying. Okay. To be fair, that hero is like completely out of left field.
Looking at this, like Cloud9, that was, I don't know. What were you thinking? I mean, I
definitely wasn't thinking the Undying.
I thought Beastmaster was a good guess.
Yeah, BM's actually really good against Puck.
Yeah.
DK I could have seen as well, maybe, but maybe you have too much farm in that team. I guess Beastmaster
DK seems like a kind of meh hero lately. I think because like the Tiny Jug, I guess those are going to be Envy and Fata's heroes.
Is this okay?
Fata Jug.
That's an off-lane
even?
Undying? That's gotta be a mid-jug.
Yeah.
Or no, a carry, maybe a short lane jug. I mean, Fata's a good enough player.
They've got Whis Tiny, so it's... That's where I'm like, Envy would normally play the Tiny here. So Fata's going to be on a hero that's likely not going mid, depending on how C9 want to lane this. And
yeah.
They could do like a Lion Tiny lane and have the Wisp Jug. I feel like Wisp Jug mid, because Notel always wants to be stacking big camps. Like that's where Envy's farm is going to come from. You don't have to lane the Wisp Tiny together.
Yeah, as a combination in the beginning, it's not that great.
Yeah. Wisp Tiny is good for the mid lane, but Jug Wisp is, I would say, similarly powerful.
I definitely didn't see the Undying coming, though. That pick threw me for a loop as well. That's just not a hero that you see too often in general.
So that's, the Bone 7 hero. So the Bone 7 Undying, not really a
It
pick
works
of theirs.
in a lot of ways right now, because they don't have reliable ways of taking down the Tombstone.
Yep.
I believe it's not one of those things like Pugna's ward where it takes a certain amount of hits. Like it actually has a flat HP.
It's flat HP, and it's pretty damn tanky.
So the Naga illusions won't actually do too much to it early.
800 HP at max level, and I think like I don't know what armor. I'd guess like 3 armor, but that's just because I feel like 3 armor is like the default armor.
If you look at Fire's lineup though, they're pretty ill-equipped to deal with the Undying.
Like the ranged Skywrath Puck is like all you've really gotten. Those heroes aren't doing a huge amount, perhaps.
They lowered the Skywrath Agi as well, which is a big thing.
Ooh,
especially for this game.
Yeah,
I guess.
For killing that Tombstone, you need that Agi. I mean, though you get zombies on you, you're taking pretty big damage. If you get 2 or 3 zombies on you, your Skywrath is just done for.
Zombies are really good against Fire's lineup as well. Their default armor for most of their heroes is incredibly low.
Yeah,
Skywrath's got nil.
Only the Naga with any kind of a decent base armor, I guess. Fogged with 3 on the Venge, so... Well, we'll see what the plan's going to be here. We'll introduce our 2 teams, starting off on the Radiant side, up 1-0 in this best of 3. It's going to be Cloud9 with Eternal Envy playing the Tiny, Bone 7 going to be on the Undying, Io, or Wisp, being played by Notel, Fata on the Juggernaut, and Misery handling the Lion for Cloud9.
Yeah, and it looks like you might be right. I mean, Notel right now is with Bone 7, but I think it's just so that they can get the ward down. They might even do dual off lanes.
Yeah, I could see that. The Wisp dual off lanes, like they've seen some like Wisp Bristlebacks in the off lane, like MVP like to run that quite a bit.
Yeah, I know about that.
That was just one small piece of that iceberg we were talking about earlier. The Wisp Bristleback. But yeah, I think it was the other day I saw HGT run like a Wisp Jug off lane where it's like you just don't expect that Wisp to necessarily be there and can catch people by surprise a bit. It does mean you're not stacking camps, which is what I guess could fall upon Misery a bit more.
He can still do it, Miz. Especially if you're supporting like a Jugger or Tiny. Those are pretty self-sufficient heroes.
Dude, Undying, king of the bounty runes. You do not want to fight into Decay.
Yeah, he's
do
just
not give him the 2 hero Decays, that's for sure. And meanwhile, bottom bounty rune, the Jug was there.
He's got 3 stacks, and he's just running.
Right clicks hard too. I guess Naga's got 5 armor and a stout shield, but...
Yeah, but 74 damage is so much.
Oh, they actually want to kill the Wispy. If Notel's in it, he needs to tether out, and yeah, will do so. Gets stunned up. Did not time the stun to cancel or to stun him a bit earlier. That would have been a nice little cancel, but...
They do get the ward down as well. Do they have sentries for this? Yeah, they do. They should have seen the ward go down here. This is so many stacks, though. He has 82 damage and almost 1,000 health.
I feel like that was okay for Fire, though. They secured the bounty rune for Fog. They didn't use too much of their own mana, whereas you look at Undying, and he used like 4 decays there. He's used up half his mana pool.
Does he have any clarities? No.
But Wisp will have a bottle, though, so I guess
it doesn't matter too much.
That's everything right back.
They're just trying to put as much pressure on Ush. Like I said, if you give the Naga free farm, And he gets like that 9-minute relic or something ridiculous. I mean, I've had to play against Miracle Nagas, so I know what that's like. That's the other iceberg. There's just so many pieces.
Alright, so we'll be just straight soul mid jug, level 1 healing ward. Why not? Just help sustain him in lane. He won't be going for any kind of a bottle rush here. As a quick pause comes out faster.
Yeah, so the Blade Fury isn't even too good at CSing. It's barely above your base damage.
Yeah.
And it does cost a lot of mana.
No, I don't see... He doesn't need it defensively either, unless like you get smoke ganked at level 1, which
Nobody's
teams
gonna
don't do.
Yeah, you're not going to see that coming for Jug.
Yeah. And he'll hit level 2 off, well, in theory 1 creep wave, although it looks like he doesn't actually get it off the first creep wave with 2 denies for TC.
This is actually really neat, though, if you really think about it, because he goes for the 4-man shield, and with the healing ward in the back, it's impossible for TC to harass him early.
He rushes a Quelling Blade as well, so we won't see any kind of a straight bottle out of him. Just wants that extra bit of last hitting power.
And he actually doesn't go for the Blade Fear. He's going to opt for the crit here.
Yeah, I imagine he definitely goes back for it either at level 3 or level 4, just for even just the 1 value point we're seeing some Jugs go for.
I can't stand when Jugs just skip it completely, and they keep doing that in my pub games.
Getting 0. Oh, I've seen the jungle Juggernauts with no Blade Fury. That is... It's the new jungle Bloodseeker.
You could still just like... Yeah, there's so many uses for it still.
Yeah.
Oh, and a top. No-tail might go down. That's so much damage on him.
He tethered into that one. I think he was going for the tether just to heal up Bone 7, but not to actually fight into...
Gosh, just taking so much damage.
It's fine. He's got a Salve 2 now as well. He'll be back to full HP and Bone 7.
That's a value salve too.
That minus armor from the Riptide and the Howl. Holy moly.
Oh, and they actually get the net on him. Will this be a kill? No, the
Fluff is dead by Roshan, and it's going to be... Yeah, Bone 7's still alive. That was unexpected. I think No-Tail making kind of a rare mistake on his Wisp there with the tether range, because knowing the range where you zip in or whether you just tether them is one of those kind of small little things that...
That wasn't a zip-in moment.
Yeah. He did not want to go flying into a Riptide plus Wave of Terror.
Yeah, just a little bit of a misplay there. A small lag spike on me. Hope the players aren't getting that as well.
I'm pretty good myself, so...
And oh, might he go down? Ush just needs 2 hits with the Soul Rip just to heal him for so much.
Yeah, the double heal.
Yeah. And he's instantly at health, baiting himself a little bit.
He's full HP, gets a 2-hero decay off, and... He's not farming that well. Like, sure, he's pushing back. I guess Ush isn't farming himself, but it's not like they're crushing this top lane. Puck is going to get a ganked out the mid lane. Does get Kanika on the Jug, but it's top lane where Bone 7 still manning up, just zoning out these top heroes. It was mid lane, though, where the Puck and Jug traded lives. Puck getting the... well, no XP for his kill. He died before he got his.
Miz got a ton of levels, though, out of that.
Yeah.
He's going to hit level 3 at 3 minutes. And for a solo dual lane, I guess that's pretty good.
Tiny at bottom is not having a fun time. That's where Fluff and stuff is rotated with his Skyreth Mage.
Yeah, the Clockwork is actually farming him right now.
There's no stacks as well, with the supports being kept busy on the Radiant side.
Yeah, I guess if Misery is going for these kills in the middle lane, they'd have to sacrifice the Tiny a little bit more than they should.
Yeah. Envy gets fully healed up, though. No-Tail TP's bottom with the bottle, and Mike now going to see
Mike's got to be fine, right?
No, he actually tosses him straight up. Could have gone for a toss back.
Oh, and he's not going for the cogs just yet, and he misfires it. He's going to get caught out here, and Envy's getting kind of low, but he should be fine.
There's 2 bottle charges, and Envy, yeah, he'll get healed up, and there's a rune in 5 seconds' time. Top lane, meanwhile, it's Bone 7 once again manning up, trying to fight here. Ush has an ensnare, and this early ensnare is really doing some work here. There needs to be a heal. Impale catches out 2!
He's got a 1 more! Oh, and he's going to get him. He's going to win this man fight, too, if he goes for it.
Oh, no.
He's
Ush
got
needs
so
a
much
Riptide.
damage.
He hasn't got a Riptide.
Ush is in such a weird position right now. The stun's going to come back up in 1 second here.
Suicide?
No, he's not even going to be able to get that off, and Bone 7 just outplaying them here with the help of Misery.
And meanwhile, bottom lane, No-Tail secured the room, which means Envy, who was suddenly like 100 HP, is going to get fully healed back up if No-Tail wants to do so. And it looks like maybe they'll go for another kill on Mike even.
Yeah, and these Misery rotations are simply winning them the game right now. He's level 4. He's gotten so much kill potential on the map right now. He's got to kill mid. He went for 2 at top.
Oh no, Mike misfires the cogs again. Trapped inside with a ball and a little rock, and oh, that ain't gonna go too well.
He was trapped. What did I say? A hard rock in a place or something last game?
No-Tail goes down. Ush the one rotating and ganking right now, and he's looking for a second kill on Envy. Has got an ensnare, but does not have mana for a Riptide, so I don't think he's using this ensnare. He's looking just to chase down.
There's not enough mana on Envy.
He's got the movement speed advantage, 370 to 375.
Oh, he's committed for this. 1 more hit, he does go down.
He's got no escape plan, though.
Yeah, and the Tiny almost had stun there. Oh, No-Tail's gonna get so much for this. That's
5.
That's a full level he just got off of that kill.
Misery, meanwhile, in a bit of trouble here. Bone 7 rotates back in, and with Fata's help, Look like Fogged has no way out of this one. He's gone for a bottle here and is looking to heal up.
Oh, that crit.
Whew.
Bone 7 is getting so much out of this offlane as is. He's got the Tranquil Boots. He's 2-0 and 1. He's out farming the Naga actually by 3 CS as well.
Yeah. What a very aggressive game from both teams.
It's so random.
This is what happens. Oh, bottom lane, there we go. Tiny and Wisp team up again. Mike is dead for the 3rd time this game. This is what happens when you add Misery and No-Tail for your team to replace like a player like AUI. Amazing support player, but much more defensive and farm-oriented.
Yeah.
We're seeing Misery, the aggression coming out of this guy, doing a lot of work.
Both games, I feel like he's just played so well.
The relocate in gets an avalanche toss as well. That fast level 6, I mean, you talked about the solo kill he got. That solo kill getting him level 6 there.
Yeah, that's so huge. And just the fact that No-Tail's level 6 now, like we talked about, and Ush isn't level 6 yet. Before the Song of the Siren, they go for the kill, able to pick it up. And that's 15 kills already, and he's got a DD at bottom.
He just juked the hell out of that Cogs as well. Avalanche going to miss, though.
Wow, that looked weird.
Yeah, well, that's going to save Mike's life. It's elsewhere. The Juggernaut trading lives for a Scarith Mage. I just don't know where to look. There's ganks happening all over the place. Mike is... I thought that was
kills
a kill.
in 6 minutes.
Yeah, I was looking at that bottom like, okay, this is Mike dead again, but it's somewhere else where I'm not looking, so...
They're just getting kill after kill right now. Fire is trying to keep up, but it just looks like C9 know how to put the aggression on a little bit better. Misery just kind of picking his spots really well in this game. I feel like Game 1 and Game 2, both games that we've casted him so far, he's just been kind of like the dominant force for C9.
Yeah.
He's like a really greedy player, but he's creating so much space in the early game just to allow that play later on.
Yeah, he goes for like Midases all the time, and like I agree, he's very greedy, but he's greedy in a very aggressive playmaker kind of way.
Yeah.
So.
It's kind of a difference from AUI, who does go for bigger items earlier, whereas Misery seems really content to just kind of let the game happen. Maybe I can play a little bit more greedy in the mid game and just make impact early.
All right. Well, nice things stand right now. Cloud9
and a
looking
bottom
for more
Mike.
kills. Another toss kill onto Mike. There was even supports rotating, waiting behind. No-Tail could look to keep on fighting. He's got the bottle charge, even has urns here. He's going to be just fine. Envy, I think, is diving
he goes
for
to this tether.
Doesn't even use the urn to heal himself up. There we go. He's healing himself as well as Envy, and these TP-ins are not going to make anything happen. Envy's going to find another kill. It's a 3rd one at the bottom lane, or is it? Needs a toss.
He's getting bottled by TC, though. Oh, he's going to go down still.
Barely gets a kill.
TC's out of mana as well. Is he going to go down? He does get the silence off.
It's level 1
That's the phase shift. He's going to go down. No-Tail with the big plays. No-Tail made...
Ultra kill for Envy.
EE made that, you know, he got all the kills, but No-Tail was definitely the one kiting around perfectly back and forth.
By the way, do you need a refill on your bottle? Sure, why not? Here you go, No-Tail.
An Invis rune picked up by No-Tail. They're just getting so much out of this. Is the relocate up again? Yes. And they have an Invis on the Tiny. Jeez. There's so many kills in this game.
This is starting to look like a Zephyr game.
It really is. And from somebody who's been in Fire's position right now, it's really confusing. Like, if they're anything like us, things are quiet. They're like, what do we do from here on out?
It's just such an unconventional way. Like, if you open the game with, like, a slow start, but it's like you're getting out-farmed, it's one thing. But getting an ultra kill to Tiny at 8 minutes in, that's where you're just like, what the hell's going on?
They shut him down really good early, too. They got that kill by Ush at bottom lane. But then the weird thing was, it kind of went okay for them because No-Tail got a full level off that. He got a really quick level 6 and Bone 7 just doing so much work at top.
Yep.
Is he going to go down? No, Fogged instead goes down.
Relocate in from No-Tail to secure that kill. I think he's going to get picked off at bottom lane. Yeah, they're waiting for him. And at this point, that's a level 8 Wisp. That's actually not a bad
that's great for them. He's the same level as CC at this point. But a tower goes down in return. C9 just getting so much more out of this game right now. There's 24 kills in 9 minutes. That's more than 2 kills a minute right now.
This is what Envy just picked up.
What does Envy have? Oh, he has a full Shadow Blade in 9 minutes.
I saw him sitting on 3k. I'm like, is he going Midas, Ags Rush? Like, what's the plan?
Is there even a point to go Ags Rush like this early? You might as well go for some sort of mobility item.
Yeah. They don't have... If you're forcing the supports to buy Dust and Sentries now, they're going to be... I mean, even Mike, he's got 400 gold. A hero like Clockwork, if he's doing well, can easily buy some Dust for the team, but...
Oh, is Mike going to go down here again? He's going to spot him out, but Eternal Envy's right there.
No tether, actually. Big Daddy's stuck in the
He's
gold.
actually dead.
Okay.
No rebuttal kill either, but
Envy should get something out of this.
Yep. And they're going to get a lot out of this. I think both the supports might go down as well.
Yeah. There'll be an Omni Slash further up. They're going to lose the Naga Siren to start things off, and it's going to be 2 dead. Mike on the Clockwork did end up getting chased down by Envy's Shadow Blade, and at the bottom river. TC wants a room. We'll get the DD, but now has to find a way out of this one. His Blink Dagger is just nowhere in sight right now.
Yeah, and he's not going to have one for quite some time, especially if aggression like this keeps happening. Puck is the only thing that can really hold things together right now for them. But if he has to keep coming into these fights, and they're not even trading that favorably, I mean, they just lost the Naga there as well, before she could even pop the Song of the Siren. And forget a 9-minute Relic. Like, this is like a 28-minute Radiance.
Well, Envy just going to go in behind the tower. This is possibly a dead Vengeful Spirit. He's going to go for the Shadow Blade damage even, into a toss. Doesn't get the Avalanche, and Intel treads with a bottle regen. He's going to get the kill and hold on to his Avalanche as well, which is the longer cooldown of the two nukes.
Yeah, that's 7 kills for an 7 kills in 11 minutes for Envy at this point. And they're going to go for this tier 1 right now. This game is just looking... It's kind of spiraling out of control right now for Fire. They try to get into these early engagements, and they try to go back and forth toe-to-toe. But especially at that bottom one where Envy just gets an ultra kill. Like, they're definitely not getting the better end of this.
They just kept teeping in, dying one by one. It's very reminiscent of the game where I think it was... Notel and Kuro... No, I was talking about a previous Notel Wisp game when him and Kuro were playing the offlane Wisp Necrophos against Na'Vi, and Na'Vi had a tri-lane and they just kept dying to this dual lane Wisp Necro. Like, Kuro was like 5-0 6 minutes into the game because of Notel's Wisp.
It's such a deceptive hero. Oh, and at bottom, Mike's gonna go down again for the 6th time in 11 minutes. But what do you do at this point? Clockwork's not a hero that can jungle. I mean, mid lane isn't really somewhere he can farm. This top lane is really dangerous for him as well at this point, because Bone 7's just kind of taking control of the game. He's got a 12-minute Yules. Like, we haven't even talked about him. But he's turned into a real hard carry now.
Yeah, you try and initiate on him, you can use that defensively, offensively, and what an item Yules is. With the Tranquils as well, his movement speed,
he's got 410 right now.
That's disabled Tranquils too, so goes up to like, what, 450 or something.
Yeah. I'm not really sure what Fire are meant to do in this position, because I think they expected the dual lane and top to go a lot better.
Yeah.
But C9 are so good at dual laning in general, and they picked the king of dual lanes as well. They've picked the Undying, and him and No-Tail just did so much work at top. Where does Ush really go to get farm at this point?
It's got 1100 gold, and there's so much now the kind of pick-off potential kicks in. You've got a Wisp Tiny who can relocate anywhere on the map. You've got a Juggernaut who may go for like a Shadow Blade as well. He's got 2.8k gold, and
you might as well. Like, nobody on Fire can't cover that many sentries.
Yeah. If not that, I'd say like a Blink Dagger would be pretty. Like, rush a Blink, why not? He's not picked up like a Morbid Mask. We're seeing a lot of the Mask of Madness, but the fact he saved up this much gold makes me think Shadow Blade.
I mean, he might still. You know how player like Mushi's like the most guilty of this, where they just stack gold on top of gold on top of gold just to
you kind of wait to see how the game develops and before you commit to an item, and I think it's a good approach some of the time. Mike will get the cogs off this time defensively, but
he's still gonna die.
Yeah, the Tombstone, you cannot fight into the tomb at this point. You have no way of killing it off, and initiation here, TC's gonna go for it. I don't know about the
damage is real, but No-Tail's keeping him alive. The Shadow Blade goes off, he is dusted, but he's so tanky. Yeah, that's
4 dead, and
that's gonna be, honestly, that's
GG.
Yeah, that's not, you're not gonna come back into that. It's 27-7 at 13 minutes. C9 alone are getting more than 2 kills a minute.
What a game. That was a fun game to watch from C9 with this new draft, because you would not see a game develop like this with their old roster. This is just a new C9. They are playing a weaker team in the sense.
It looks like she's doing it looks like a skateboard. Like they're just doing a kickflip in the air.
With the effigy.
Yeah. You're completely right, though.
Effigies going on.
This C9 roster, it's so aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen... I mean, with a player like Misery, that's what you want to do, though. He did this a lot on LGD, and he just goes around, tries to get kills, and then he just frees up the map. And C9 have the talent where they can just run around non-stop getting kills.
And even the old, like, the Pylite Eye Wisp would be stacking and pulling. C9...
That's what we thought he was going to do, but he just kept getting kills.
He won the off lane, and then he swung bottom lane and caught Envy up. Envy, who had, like, 12 CS at 5 minutes, he was struggling, but... I mean, No-Tail... I don't know. I don't even know if you can call an MVP in this game, but probably goes to No-Tail's Wisp. And I mean, Bone 7 on the Undying creates so much space as well.
Misery went around the map and killed every lane as well. Like, everybody just played really flawlessly.
That 2-hero Impale at top lane when Misery just suddenly showed up out of nowhere, because
they definitely didn't expect that.
Oh, well, Cloud9 in the grand finals. Team Fire could have a chance for redemption. They're going to go down to the lower bracket, await the winner of E-Hug and Complexity. They've already beat Complexity, so still should see a good chance Fire makes it to the grand finals and can have a shot at revenge. So that does it for this series. Myself, Godz, as well as Blitz will be bringing you the final series for today. It's going to be eHug taking on Complexity, fighting to stay alive in the Dota 2 Asia Championships. If you guys want to support and follow Blitz, you can follow him on Twitter at Blitz underscore Dota.
Don't forget the underscore. It's important.
Blitz Dota without is some Russian Dota 2 player who we're not allowed to support.
He refuses to give it up.
Well, look, man. Some people just want to be Blitz Dota.
Yep.
You can follow myself at BTS Godz, and we'll be back after a bit of a break. The next match not scheduled to start for about an hour's time, so not sure if they'll move it up. We'll update you guys if that is the case, and stay tuned.